Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Finally, some good news from the war zone, or how do you want to call occupied territories, Russian-controlled territories, Ukraine, however you want to call. I'm just saying. So, is from a leader, a leader of the Azov regiment, who was allowed to contact his wife and speak with her a little bit. That's very good. Um, the Russians will keep him alive as long as possible. I guarantee you that. And that is because, I don't know if you remember, it was Field Marshal Paulus at Stalingrad who surrendered against uh, Adolf's orders. And then the Soviets captured him, obviously. He surrendered to the Soviets, and he was kept alive by the Soviets as much as possible until they drained every little drop of anything out of him and made him, confess this, confess that, deny, say this, decry that, speak against this, speak against that, thinking that the Soviet Union is the greatest country and so on. And then he was allowed to come back into Red RDG, not the Federal Republic of Germany, was the Democratic Republic of Germany under the Soviet control. He was allowed, I think he lived in Dresden. So he was allowed to be alive after, but he was under continuous surveillance, and I think he died a few years after he was released in his native country. So too. So this article comes from the New Voice. So they will keep these guys alive. Um, so this comes from the New Voice of Ukraine, May 25th, 2022. Azov Regiment leader alive in Russian-controlled territory, his wife says. So the woman, that's how it starts, the woman said that her husband asked her how she was, but that the line broke off before she could say anything about himself. Now we have here that Amnesty International is concerned about the fate of Mariupol defendants evacuated from Azovstal. I think they should be concerned for some, but as I said, the Russians will keep them alive. They will not take care of them because it's just they're valuable staying alive, not dead. But Amnesty International shows logic here. So she said, the woman, the wife, she said the phone call was possible under an agreement between the governments of Russia and Ukraine, and thanks to the mediation of the Red Cross, which has been visiting some of the Ukrainian fighters. That's nice. They could cooperate, but the Russians with Ukrainians. But obviously, it was also in the interest of the Russians to show, hey, he's alive. We take care of him. We got him. So now he's ours. So I think that was like a pride moment too. Or I don't know, maybe it was big heart too. I don't know. I doubt that. Why do we care about this guy? It was just I don't want to say PR stance because I don't know. So we have here Prokopenko, who spoke to the Associated Press in Kiev together with another wife of a soldier, said that the Ukrainian-Russia agreement guarantees proper burial of dead soldiers and certain conditions for the prisoners of war, including allowing them to hold telephone calls with family members a few times per week. That's good. The two women said several families had received calls in the past 2 days. That's beautiful. They said they could not reveal more details of the agreement, but they were hopeful that the soldiers would not be tortured and that they eventually will come back home uh, alive, because that matters a lot if he comes alive or cold delivery. So the UK Ministry of Defense tweeted on May 20th that up to 1,700 Ukrainian soldiers might have surrendered at the Azovstal steelworks in Mariupol, which had been encircled and besieged by Russian troops for months. All right. On May 19th, the International Committee of the Red Cross reported that they had recorded the personal data of hundreds of fighters who were evacuated from Azovstal. And then the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said that the commanders of the units stationed at Azovstal have received an order from the top military leadership to have their lives of their wounded to save the lives of their wounded soldiers. Now, I don't know this thing with I've seen this in each and every uh, article that I read about Azovstal and Azov Battalion or regiment, that the armed forces, the General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine, uh, told the Azovstal defenders, gave them an order to surrender or something, to save lives. I don't know what that is. They try to make it like the guys did not hold anybody hostage in the plant. In each and every one I read, it's somewhere over there that they receive order to save life. That therefore, and they will not really use the word surrender. Just watch and read the articles. It's not like, oh, they say, oh, we surrendered. It's not like that. We received order to save lives. Boom, that's it. What? And what did you do next? You just went outside and surrendered, right? They would not really, they barely say that. Like, I don't know, and that's a fact. So it says, prior to that, the Azov regiment issued a statement saying that the defenders of Mariupol had complied with the order and hoped for the support of the Ukrainian people. According to Ukrainian Deputy Defense Ministry Hanna Maliar, there was no other way to save the soldiers in Azovstal. She said that the operation to rescue the defenders of Mariupol would continue until they returned to the territory controlled by Ukraine. And then Zelensky confirmed that the defenders of Mariupol should be released as part of a prisoner swap. They will never be released by prisoner. I mean, the unimportant ones will be released under a prisoner swap. Yes, that would be the case. But the leaders, the commanders, I don't know. Maybe after they squeeze all the drops from them, like they did with Paulus, Field Marshal Paulus, the Soviets, then they say, okay, now you take him back, and they're going to be broken people, or maybe not broken people, but definitely they said everything they knew, and they will say everything they didn't know, because they will add, just leave me alone, just stop, if you know what I mean. So this is it. It's good that they allowed that to happen, to communicate the wives with their husbands. That's excellent, and I hope these defenders of Azovstal, if they deserve, you know what I mean, deserves. I mean, if they didn't commit war crimes and so on, they should just at one point be released and allowed to go and rejoin their families in Ukraine. That's how it should be. Now, if they're war criminals, and that should be determined by investigations and court proceedings, then yeah, by all means, they should be punished like any other individual involved in a war. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.